Here on the west side of Baltimore, there's a place where young people can go when they realize the education they left is the education they need. It's called the West Side Youth Opportunity Community Center, and youth workers say it fills a crucial void for disconnected youths.
Other than this, if you literally drive in a circle around this building within the next 2-3 square miles, there's really nothing else for young people. It really isn't.
And when large numbers of those young people are high school dropouts who've led troubled lives, it makes the mission here at Youth Opportunity Center all the more urgent.
I just quit school like I was out there doing all the wrong things that a young black man shouldn't be doing.
Such stories are an everyday thing for Ernest Dorsey, longtime director of Youth Opportunity Baltimore. He says many of the youths who come to the center have problems that are just as much effect as they are a cause.
Well, again, we work with young people every day, but folk have to understand the issues and the barriers that our young people are dealing with on a daily basis. Many of our young people are in the survival mode.
But as of late, Youth Opportunity Baltimore has been in survival mode itself. It hasn't always been that way. Back in 2000, Baltimore was one of 36 high-poverty communities throughout the United States to get federal funding through a billion-dollar program called the Youth Opportunity Grants Initiative. The goal of the project was to bring funding to high-poverty areas in order to improve the long-term educational and employment outcomes for youth. This was to be achieved by having staff on hand to work with the youths on a long-term basis at youth-focused centers. Activities included helping youths get GEDs and offering classes in life skills and job readiness. Overall, according to one federal evaluation of the project, Youth Opportunity succeeded in getting more youths in school and even post-secondary education. At another point, evaluators concluded that perhaps the initiative's biggest contribution might have simply been helping to arrange for short-term jobs. The 5-year program ended in 2005, which in turn brought federal funding for the project to zero. Some youth policy experts say that was a mistake and that the program should have been expanded.
What we were told was not that it was a demonstration program. What we were told was that it was the way we were going to begin to transform the youth delivery system in this country.
But some say the program was neither designed nor funded like its more successful predecessors.
What was done under the name Youth Opportunity Program was positive and good and should happen. We used to have lots of programs like that were positive and good and should have happened. And then what we tried to do was improve the quality of those programs. We tried to change them, make them better, and find out what works inside the programs. So we found it out, and we put it in place, and lo and behold, you had massive effects. When you did the Youth Opportunity Program, we had taken all the growth in the forest, and we just cut it all down, and what you now have is a desert.
Inside the Department of Labor, top officials say the Youth Opportunity Grants Initiative is essentially a thing of the past.
Things have changed, and innovation may look different. I think that the other piece, and I welcome people to disagree on these, but things that recognize catalytic programs, things that recognize promising programs, shouldn't expect to be funded in perpetuity. We have formula money if in those local areas, those practices that were proven by the Youth Opportunity grantees were seen as effective. They should be a foundation of the formula funds that are used in those local areas. And I think when we talk about innovation, we should be constantly looking at funding new ideas that have the same promise that the Yokes had early in the 2000s.
To the individual congressmen or funders or whatever who feel like a program like this isn't needed, I say that a lot of our young people do not have the avenues that a lot of other people who have had opportunities, brothers and sisters who have paved ways. I mean, you look at situations where a lot of our congressmen and people of influence have gotten to where they are because they had family members or friends or someone who owned a business, who owned who were in Congress, who were the aldermen or whatever in the community. And a lot of our young people don't have that. We are that support structure.
How difficult is it to resist the temptations to go back to street life?
It is so difficult waking up, looking in the refrigerator and you don't see nothing. Looking at your pockets and it ain't how you want it to be. Everybody flying past in cars and you know you can do it and get it. You know you can get it and all that. It'd be hard, but as long as I know that with this education thing, I'ma always be good. You know what I mean? Cause I'm nothing without my education. You heard me?
Yeah, I gotta do this for my family, y'all. My mom, my dad. I'm doing for y'all. Okay. I was young coming up in the hood. Now everything's good coming up in the hood. Ain't nothing really good coming up in the hood. Had to do what I did, so I did what I do. I'm so true, I'm for real. I want it all cause I never had nothing, man, that's for real. I come from the gutter, a little dirty dude, but now I'm getting fresh and I'm real fresh too. My mother really loved me, she tell me every morning, say, son, keep trying and never give up. So I keep on going, I ain't never give up. All about paper, so I'm all about money. I ain't never been no dummy, you can't stop it. I ain't gotta run into it.